Welcome in. We're starting the live stream here. Men's hockey, US versus Denmark. And we've got a puck drop with an immediate stoppage of play. So,
Now we
uh,
begin.
as always, join Kyle Diezel, Will Highland, Odd Man Rush, also Patrick Adams. Welcome in, friend of the show. Diesel, how about you give me a time on the clock?
Yeah, we got 1940 on the clock here.
Okay, so you're
Possession
only
over the
about
Denmark.
2 seconds ahead of me. That's pretty good. Nice. Well, for those of you tuning in, we've talked Diesel, how long have we talked about USA versus how long have we talked about USA versus anybody in the Olympics? We've been
Versus the
talking about it
world. I mean,
for
we've been talking about probably since the summer. I mean, even before this past summer for the last few years.
yeah, we've been talking about it. We've been talking about it really since we started the pod in 2023. Um, so it's exciting to have it going here. Finally, we absolutely destroyed Latvia. Although the first period had me scared. Did you guys watch Latvia?
I didn't watch the full thing. I watched highlights.
Yep.
But I will say the line combinations. I mean, I think they look pretty solid all the way through. So
Agreed.
I'm excited to see how they continue forward. I do think this is kind of the time for Austin Matthews to either show up or not. I mean, this has been hyped up since the Four Nations. So I think it's time for him to step up. He's a guy I'm hoping that we can rely on in clutch time.
Definitely. Yeah, we've certainly needed it. I mean, we've needed somebody to step up. And I mean, Austin Matthews had a goal. Oh, there's a nice chance for.
Oh, and Denmark already scores.
Yeah, I see that. Nice chance. So Swayman
Oh,
beat early on a scrum. Well, this is their payback for us wanting to buy Greenland, apparently. Um, so yeah,
say
tough scrum. What did you see there?
it's on Lorensky, and then
I saw a little bit of a breakdown there. They left 95 right with no help.
well, Lorensky let the puck go up the side, never fully cleared out, and I think that's what killed it. So we
Yeah.
weren't able to get back.
It looked like Swayman stopped the initial shot, but there was a little bit of a rebound
Like I was able to
almost.
deflect it off the guy.
Yeah, wow. It's kind of how the Latvia game started. That's tough. Okay, well, hey, no one said it was going to be
Reset.
easy. I mean, I kind of did say
Nope.
it was going to be easy, but
Just got to
um,
reset.
yeah, I mean, we are the better team. They only have six NHLers on their team. Obviously, Ehlers from the Hurricanes is their best player. Decent shot with a little bit of
Oh,
scrum from the net.
but
Now,
JT.
have you guys watched any of the other you guys watched any of the other games that have gone on in the hockey tournament so far? I really haven't.
I haven't been able to as well. I've watched other Olympic games going on. I have enjoyed watching the co-ed curling. I will say Corey and Corey. I think that's my highlight of the Olympics so far, at least the first week. What about you guys? What you got so far?
And in terms of the men's side, not necessarily, but I know in the days leading up to today, I was watching, Canada versus Switzerland, leading up to the Canada-U.S. women's hockey game. Um,
Some good highlights there.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, I know like the if you look from the statistics side, Canada had obliterated Switzerland in terms of the shots on net, but frankly, Switzerland's defense was what kept the game relatively close because Canada only scored on power play goals in that entire game.
Yeah,
So
it was not like when they played the Czech Republic, for sure.
yeah,
Oh, we're just about to go down, man.
Gosh. Yeah, I see that now. Now, do you guys know what the deal is with the icing? Like, is icing the same as
Correct. It's how they deem it.
okay, so it's officials' discretion.
Correct.
Okay.
No, I guess we're not going down to man. I thought we were going to break one the penalty for the
Yeah, I mean,
check there. Oh, there's the icing.
Yeah, that was.
yeah, a lot of the games so far, guys, have been a
I wish that they would for the Olympics alone. They'd get rid of the trapezoid in the corners. I wish they would allow them to keep it more fluid, keep it more open eyes, allow the goaltenders to play the puck more. I think it'd make a more entertaining scenario.
At one point, the NHL used to have that. Remember that?
It's called the Martin Brodeur rule.
definitely you can't play it out of the trapezoid.
But unfortunately, when it comes to international play, you have to follow the majority utilized.
I know, but I wish it would just be. I think it'd be cooler. Something else different. The only other thing is we're not going to see fights like we did in the Four Nations.
No, you can't fight. Isn't it
No,
illegal to fight?
it's a major penalty no matter what, and
You
potential
might get
eject.
kicked out.
Correct.
Yeah. So yeah, we're live on the audio stream now. So this
Perfect.
is just, I mean, that was
There
a
we
great.
go.
Then boom. Yep, I was about to say, just as we go live, we get an immediate odd man rush. No
The
pun
Founding
intended.
Fathers are there in the stands.
There they are, Jefferson and Washington.
Who's that? Is that Matt Boldy who scored? Is that Brady Kachuk?
Goldie.
Yeah, it was Boldy.
Oh, Matt Boldy. I think he's one of the most underrated players we currently have in the NHL. He's not compared to as up there with McKinnon, McDavid, Celebrini, most of Team Canada, I would say. Even as compared to like Austin Matthews, I don't think we realized it. I mean, look what happened in Four Nations. We talked about how high scoring he was.
Yeah, he was one of the best players. He was one of the best players in the um, entire tournament, not just Team USA.
Correct.
So Matt Pulley, he's been with Minnesota Wild for
He's been there for a while. He's quietly been there. I would characterize it.
All right, hopefully we get some people that tune into the live stream.
We're about 5 minutes almost into the first period.
Yep. So I got 15:48 on the clock.
Yeah, you're 2 seconds behind us.
All right, that's all right. So just if there's a goal, just give me a second here. So
we're about to go down, man.
You've been saying that for 3 minutes now.
So there's no goalie in the net now.
Oh yeah, okay, I see that now. All right, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we like Kyle, like we said at the beginning, and Pat, I know you and I have talked about it too. Like whenever we get together in person, it's like we've been looking forward to this international best on best for a long time, and we had a little bit of a flavor of it last year. But so far in this tournament, that other group is really the close group, but Canada and USA have both won in blowouts in their 3 games combined so far. So, are we on a collision course for a USA Canada gold medal game?
I would say so. I mean, look at the women's side. I mean, I think it's bound to happen. But going off of the women's side, do you think the men are at the? I'm trying to think of the wording here. Had the same amount of pressure or more to potentially beat Team Canada, especially if the women do play them again and beat them?
Well, I think the women actually have more pressure to beat Canada because I think in 18 the women won, and then in 22 the Canadians won. So it's been, and then 14 the Canadians won. So it's been like back and forth. And we have a dislodge net. I think what happens is yeah, Ehlers is not happy with whatever just happened. I think the women have more pressure, but and they play together all year long. What happened there?
He got tripped.
Oh, but it's unlikely. Larkin's in the box right now for the U.S. and he's like a Lady Bing finalist every year, so I'm surprised that he got caught up with that holding call.
I think I'm going to be kind of like the opposite way. I think the men's team has the most pressure
I agree with
because I
that.
think when I look back at like kind of, and I don't exactly quote me on this, but I thought I saw it that when it comes like to the women's hockey, I think out of like seven of the last like eight Olympics, like it's been kind of the U.S. Canada clash for the women's hockey. I think there was only one year where the USA didn't. That's what they won the bronze.
Yeah.
But I think with the men's, it's like you know four nations. You have Sweden, Finland part of it with Canada and USA, but it's always certainly been the expectation it's always going to Canada USA clashing. But I think this is kind of the expectation now, where relatively speaking, I think for the most part, USA has had a lot of young development where they're now just the point of their career now where they have to act as the leaders to say that USA, we are here against a Canadian team where they still have young talent, but obviously you have figures like Sidney Crosby where this could potentially be his last Olympics. Speaking,
The
I would think
ageless
so.
wonder.
Ageless wonder.
I mean, he's the ageless wonder, like Jaromir Jagr, just keeps playing no
Yeah.
matter how old he is. I think is he still on pace to set the record for a point a game, being the
Who, Crosby or Yager?
18th season in a row.
Oh, Crosby?
Yeah.
Probably. I mean, the way the Penguins have relied on him this year,
Well, it's
certainly. And
like
um,
in the 50 plus games this season thus far, I think he has like 2 or 3 points more than the actual games itself. So like he's already on an amazing run at his stage of his career. Um, but yeah, it's certainly kind of the thing where it's you still have McDavid now for Canada, where
Yeah.
and you actually look at the actual like line that they're using, like McDavid I think sitting on the same line, and that's a scary combination.
Yeah, I think they keep changing the lineup. I think
yeah, you changed their lineup, but Pat's right. When they can roll out the John Cooper is not afraid to put anybody with anybody. That's one thing I've noticed in the Canada games. I watched mostly the Czech Republic game against Czechia. I didn't really watch the one where they played Switzerland. Um, Now you see the United States moving the puck well. I think we can do that too as the US. It's like we can put anybody with anybody. But back to Patrick's point, as you see Quinn Hughes skating off the ice here, um, as back to Patrick's point about Canada having or USA having more pressure on the men's side. I mean, this is the best men's Olympic team of my lifetime. Like if you look back at 2010, 2014, when or even '06 when NHLers were involved, um, the the roster was not nearly as good as it is right now. So yeah, I think it remains to be seen. We're gonna find out how good this roster really is. What do you guys make of Mike Sullivan starting multiple guys in net?
That's true. I mean, he's got it's a tough decision between goaltender who you start. I mean, it's all great options, but as we talked about, I think he's going to try to figure out who's got the hottest hand. And if you do play a team, Canada, who do you start? Who do you trust?
Well, I think by the time you get to that, you will have already played these three games plus the quarterfinals and maybe the semifinals. Although I read today that it's likely that we could end up playing Canada in the semifinal, not the gold medal game. They just showed the standings. It's all going to be about how the bracket goes. But I would imagine that Ottinger starts tomorrow against Germany. But you'd put Hellebuck in a winner go home game if you want to go back to him, and he hasn't played since Thursday, and that would be, I think, the quarterfinals start Tuesday. So I don't know how they would go about that.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
All right, so for those of you watching or listening and trying to tune up your TVs, I appreciate you tuning in to our live stream. Even if you're listening after the fact, we're going to be talking a lot of NHL, a lot of Olympic hockey, obviously, but we're at 12:54 as I'm speaking in or the other guys are at like probably 12:48 or something. But that's where we are in the first period. So far, Denmark got an early goal, kind of a weird bounce. Maybe a misplay by Werenski and Swayman together, but then the United States got the goal back almost immediately, and they've been moving the puck better. I say that, and they immediately turn the ball over or turn the puck over, but that's all right. Um, and now you can hear Kenny Albert saying the same thing. So, Diesel, how happy are you to see Quinn Hughes on the ice? We remember we didn't get him. He has the puck right now. We didn't
Yeah,
get him in the Four Nations.
I think it's great to see him out there. I mean, look what he's already been producing as he got traded to the Wild. Um, I do think this trading for a player like him is worth it. And look what's going on with the Wild. I think for Team USA, we missed that last year. He is a double threat. He's not just an offensive power. He is also a defensive specialist. So I think he's currently right now the best two-way NHL player that we currently have in the NHL. On
Yeah,
the defensive side.
I think people miss they miss understand his game or misunderstand his game, and they think he's more of just a defensive or sorry, an offensive guy, but he does everything. So I think people misunderstand his game. Looks like we get another stoppage of play here at 11:58. Um, yeah, I think people misunderstand Quinn Hughes, right? Like he is an all-around player. Like he has the perception that he is a um, offensive first guy, and he kind of is, but he can play a full 200-foot game. And speaking of, they just showed Matt Kachuk on the screen. He's another guy who's misunderstood. I think he plays a good 200-foot game as well.
Agreed. How
What do you
much do
guys
you
make
think?
of Matthews being the captain?
I mean, we've talked about it before. I've talked to Pat about it. I'm not confident in it because he hasn't proven he didn't prove anything in Four Nations to me that he should be the captain. I personally think that it should have been potentially, in my opinion, I think it should have been Jack Eichel. He
Agreed.
has the experience. He's been here. He's led this team in tough situations and provided. Um, but I also think Quinn Hughes should also potentially have an A on his uni.
Yeah, I probably would have given the captain to Eichel, the Kachuk with the A, and McAvoy with the other A. I just don't see Matthews. It's okay. I don't want to dump on the guy. I mean, we do that enough on the pod, Kyle. Who do they keep showing? Who is that? Whose father is that?
I think that's Charlie's dad.
It's Charlie's, yeah.
Okay. All right. I got it.
Yeah, I would kind of agree as well that I think the Austin Matthews being captain, like, there's certainly no question. A prolific, hockey player on the ice is, undeniable what he's done for Toronto. But in terms of the actual like leadership quality, in terms of the key pivotal moments, in terms of the international stage and like Four Nations, it's hard to really see the evidence of why the seat is given to him in terms of that sort of level. I think certainly an A would have been appropriate, at least from a skill standpoint, but um, the whole leadership aspect is want to see somebody, all around, not just on the ice. Eichel, I think certainly is interesting. I know I certainly had a conversation with my brother, who's a humongous, obviously diehard Sabres fan with Eichel and was with the Sabres before he went to Vegas. The unfortunate thing with Eichel, he's had a ton of injuries, so I haven't necessarily seen he's had maybe as much hockey time that we would love to see in somebody like in him, but he's very young, very talented as well. So I think that certainly is a good case of having that conversation of saying he could certainly be a captain, or at the very least an assistant captain on international level. And maybe not this year, this Olympics, but you can certainly make a strong case when the Olympics comes to Salt Lake City, a couple of Olympics from now. Like that's showing his opportunity for him.
Especially he'd be an older player by then. Yeah. I agree. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, now that we're gonna get more of these kind of tournaments, how much the teams change or stay the same, and how much the leadership changes or stays the same. So the United States, it's a tight game, 5-3 shot advantage for USA, and then 1-1 game for Denmark, getting the first goal. But the United States they've been carrying the play, I'd say, for the last few minutes and have had a few chances like they just had in front of the net. Um, so, I still think in interested to hear what you guys have to say. I still think there's a lot of feeling out that has to happen. I mean, unlike the women's side, these guys don't play together a lot. Oh, nice
Yeah.
chance. So I think they're still building some chemistry. Although Bill Guerin brought back a lot of the same guys that played together a year ago.
Yeah, he did. I mean, it's tough, especially when some of these guys haven't played together like in a while. It's not like it happens that easily. But also think about it, a lot of these guys train together in the off season. So like
Right.
there is some chemistry there. It's just trying to put it all together on like an actual game simulation versus at a practice or having
Definitely.
what
What? Oh,
What?
I need to see a replay on
What
this.
was
I want to
that?
know what happened there. Because
I'm starting to get a little nervous here.
I'm just gonna say, like from a live in the moment sort of thing,
is
it
that a
screams Swayman mistake there.
let's see straight
He
straight
shot it from way down there.
Yeah, that's on Swayman.
That's
That is
100%.
completely on
Yeah.
Swayman. Why? Like he was not.
just past the red line.
He
What
was not mentally ready for anything there.
He wasn't expecting it. That's why.
he didn't even really get screened that much by Boldy.
No. I think he lost
and
it.
it wasn't like a slight. It was a wrist shot.
Yeah, but I think he lost it. Like the announcers say, like on the boards potentially, because it's like a darker.
That's Ehlers knowing film.
And see, and this is the one thing like coming into this Olympics that I had the most concern of, which is it's the goalie aspect. Because I don't.
Oh
Because
my gosh.
and I'm not just talking singularly for swim, but like from the entire what they have is the goalies. Like Halbeck's been struggling.
I think they
Relatively.
have a. I think they have a crack in their confidence. I would say for
Yeah.
all three goaltenders, and that's something Team USA needs to realize in the back of their head that they got to be extra protective of. Because
Well, I think that's why Sullivan is playing everybody. He
Yep.
was trying to see who grabs the job. Now, I don't think Hellebuck was really tested against Latvia because I think Latvia sucks. No offense
Agreed.
to Latvia.
Agreed.
But Swayman has been tested a few times, and he's given up 2 goals already in the first period. Although I will say the United States has looked tired on defense. They've turned the puck over in their own zone a lot. Now that last goal was a little bit different because, like you guys said, it was from the red line. But this is, they just turned it over twice since I started
Back to
talking.
back. Yep.
Well, I was gonna say, like, if you want to look back at the replay of like, how that first goal happened, like when they were trying to clear the puck, like all the U.S. players were pretty much along the board. Like there was no one in the middle.
Well, they were getting the puck behind the net. They're coming around. They're trying to clear it. Saves it off the board. So momentum for the U.S. is going toward Denmark's goal. And as soon as they stop the puck, transition change. Easier for Denmark to make that transition.
Yeah, our line changes are looking slow too. I don't know. The whole team kind of looks a little bit slow, although they were carrying the pace of play there for a little bit. But back to the goaltending. So Hellebuck was hurt, and he didn't really have that great of numbers. And then
No.
Ottinger has been really underwhelming. Swayman actually had the best stats of the three of them throughout the NHL season so far, but he's looked shaky right now. What was that turnover about? So I don't know. I think we certainly have three capable goalies, but like you guys said, it's going to be about confidence. Swayman won them the world championships. Hellebuck is the former uh, Hart Trophy and Vezina winner last year, and then Ottinger has playoff experience, a lot of it. So there's three good options. I'm just concerned about them picking the right guy on the right day.
Yeah, it's that's a hard thing to tell you. Like who do you know who's the hot hand each day?
You don't.
Like,
You have to know your team, I guess. Oh. So yeah, the United States is getting chances. So I'm not really worried about the game.
they're not getting any second chances. No bounces. their way right now, at least in the first period here.
And remember, goal differential matters. Now,
Yes,
if you're 3-0, you're going to win your group no matter what. But in terms of tiebreakers for seeding, that we've got guys falling over too. Um,
we yeah we look a little. What was it? Little. We look very sloppy out there.
yeah.
I'm gonna say like from the transition after USA, tied game 1-1, like that maybe like what
We've
three
had
4 minutes was actually solid, like controlling the play,
correct,
being in the actual Denmark zone.
and then
But
Denmark's got possession, and now they've cleared it out 1, 2, 3, or thankfully no one was there.
See, yeah, I mean, I don't want to get too carried away with talking about the way the tournament's unfolding because we're in the fourth period of the we still have the whole there. And okay, and we'll get the benefit of an icing call here,
Yeah,
um, with Ehlers on the bench. We'll get the benefit of as long as we can finish 2-1 at worst, we will end up in the playoff round. But it would be nice to be win the group and get the bye. That's what
correct.
that's what's scaring me about this game so far is we look so sloppy. You don't want to have a tie or an overtime or sorry, not a tie, an overtime win because that does not help you.
No,
See, okay, we are clearly faster when we're playing better. We have better players. It's just we look sloppy.
we. It seems like we're having a mental collapse on some plays that are causing like terrible turnovers. Just instead of being crisp, we're coming out kind of sluggish.
I wonder if
Sloppy.
Sullivan brings out Ottinger just to spark the team.
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, wild.
No, I think
Yeah,
Andre.
that goal is wild.
Well, I think Swayman thought it was coming left and ended up actually going right.
Yeah,
Did you see his glove hand move
he
up?
miss yeah, he misread that one. He just straight up misread it. Gosh. All right. Well, how do you guys feel about watching the game and not having the ads on the ice?
I like it.
Yeah.
I
No
was never
ads
a
on the
fan of
ice,
the.
no ads on the boards.
It's too much distraction from the game. I would say, especially if you're a kid trying to watch, like you're gonna pay more attention to the flashing things than you are
Yeah.
the pop.
well, yeah, like it looks like just like as you go to like a physical hockey game in person. Like I don't mind seeing the ads on the boards if it remains the same as they're really built in.
Yeah.
But like when you watch television, it's like, oh, you see one ad. But like here in Boston, I see one for Gillette, shaving, and then next thing you see something for Bang. It continuously changes. And as you said, it's a distraction for the viewer because you're paying attention to that versus the actual game.
Like,
Like, I got love advertising. Gotta love advertising.
The Pokemon intermission report. Wow. I thought I've seen it all.
30-year anniversary, my friend.
Wow. So
Great view.
Pokemon's older than two of us, is what I'm hearing. Oh, they're showing okay, so if you're listening and you're watching, they're showing the goal again. And
Oh,
I don't.
I see it. I see why.
was it deflected off of
I don't
Boldy's?
know.
No.
It's so close.
I think it's well. Think about it. He's got a black stick, so he has no idea where that puck's coming off, or like black tape on the stick. So it matches the puck, so we can't tell where it's going to be taking off from what direction.
Oh,
So I
so
assume he got
fluky.
blinded by that and had no idea where it was going to go.
Yeah. Well, if it's any
Uh-oh.
consolation, oh jeez.
Stockwood.
If it's any consolation, they actually didn't play that well in the first period against Latvia.
Yeah.
Um, so we'll see how it goes. By the way, Denmark has absolute fire jerseys.
They do. I do like their goaltender's mask, by the way. That's a
Yeah, that's a
sick mask.
Who does Sogard play for? I don't know.
Don't know.
Me either.
Oh, jeez.
Swayman had to be on its toes for that one. I'm a little concerned now.
Oh, they got McAvoy and Hughes on the same line.
Yeah. Swayman's mask is nice too,
That's a nice mask.
with the Jets on it.
Jets in the top, and then the shield. See how
Yep.
his stick is black? I'm assuming that's the reason why I couldn't see it and what trajectory he was going to go into.
So do I. He's Ottawa.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Oh, well, there I
It's
see.
another icing. Nope. Okay. Yep. Yep. Okay, it is. So 10-5 shot advantage. Yeah.
Double the shots.
Half the goals. Yeah. Typical American hockey right there. It's always interesting how they do height and weight in kilograms in meters.
It's different for the American perspective. Not used to that.
Oh gosh. What are we doing?
We can't get any momentum going in the last, let's say, 4 minutes, 5 minutes.
Well, it's a good thing we're cutting the live stream after the first intermission because maybe we're bad luck.
Or we turn it off, or we could be good luck.
Oh God, yeah, we could be losing like 10-0 if not for. All right. Hey.
Oh, whoa, whoa.
Oh,
No.
oh, oh,
This is soccer, guys. You can't kick it.
my goodness. USA's looking tight. They just look tight.
Yeah.
For small business owners, taxes.
How do you think if Russia was able to get their team in, how do you think they'd stack up
Oh man.
in this world standing? I mean, it'd be the same issue as Team USA. Who do you start at goaltender?
Well, you have Vasilevsky, Shesterkin, and Bobrovsky. So I would go personally with Bob
Yeah.
because he's played in the Olympics before for them, and he's won Stanley Cups. Although Vasilevsky has two, so in terms of the Stanley Cup, so but then Shesterkin a couple years ago was like the best in the league. So all three of those guys at one point were considered the best in the league. So I don't know. I think you just roll it out.
Yeah.
My gut would be like, I don't know if they would do the same thing as the US's mentality where they would have all the goalies play in the preliminary, but I feel like if you ask, will make it to the knockout. I honestly think it would be Vasilevsky. I think.
I mean, Lightning are doing really well right now, I'd say, compared to the other two teams. Just Dirk, I feel like he's put in a bad position right now with how the Rangers are
Well, he has no support. Like that's the
Yeah, it's not his, but
tanking.
Patrick's right. It's not his fault.
So it'd be interesting. I think it is between Bob and Vasilevsky. Those would be the two guys.
Yeah. Gosh, that's hard.
I haven't seen much of Getzel out there much.
Well, and Brock, so they just showed Brock Nelson, and Brock Nelson had what, a hat? Didn't he have a hat trick against Latvia, or at least 2 goals and an assist?
I think I think he had a goal and 2 assists.
Oh, okay, all right.
He's also the third generation in the family to be playing in the Olympics for hockey.
Yeah, it's wild. His uncle and his great uncle or something, right?
Yep. That's
Crazy.
insane.
So United States down 2-1 with about 3 and change left, or actually less than that now, 2 and change left in the period. Not been a great first period. They carried play for a few minutes, like you guys said, after that first goal, but they've done nothing but ice the puck the last 2 minutes. And you can see the fans getting a little bit restless there.
I wonder what that would have been for her to be the sister with Brady and Matthew Tkachuk as your two brothers.
I'm sure you didn't get a lot of sleep. And there's Keith Tkachuk there next to them. He does not look happy. United States has to be careful here. They're clearly the better team on paper. They have a roster full of NHL guys. They're gonna get a period. What they can't do is give up a soft goal here before the end of the period.
No, they
because
can't. They can't afford to do that. You go
then
down.
that puts an immense amount of pressure on them. Um, so USA's got to play a little bit better here. Uh, and that is not what you want to do. Even though they got the save there, you do not want to just
Give a
let
rebound right there.
a winger waltz into the zone. Yeah, that's been the defense to the US has looked really bad, and they've turned the puck over a lot. They've had a few rushes offensively, but
We
they've been
also
on
can't
their
get
heels.
in the offensive zone. You dump it in, and it just gets stopped.
Yet Denmark looks faster right now. They look like they want it more.
Do you think if they score here in the minute here, do you think they do a wake
A-
up or a shake up with the goaltenders?
Absolutely. Because you can always go back to Helly tomorrow against Germany. Oh my goodness. Get it out of there.
We tired?
They look exhausted. Were they out
Did
partying
score
last night?
5 goals the other day take the wind out of us?
United States goes for a change, trailing by a goal.
I think we've had one shot in the
Since
last
the goal, yeah.
7 minutes. Well, since the goal, I think we've had 6 shots, but nothing. Oh.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's a trip.
I thought.
That's not a trip. Eichel looked like he was.
Let's take a look here on the replay.
He might have just fell.
Yeah, I think he just fell. He
Yeah, he
tapped
just
him.
fell. Yep. Gosh.
He's close.
Oh my gosh. All
Now we
right.
just
Well,
gotta,
hey, they get offensive zone draw. 18 seconds left,
we
roughly.
just got to go into the half here. We can't give up anything, like you said.
Yeah.
We need a rebound. Oh,
We
he
need
missed.
pucks on net.
Oh. Oh.
Oh. Oh my goodness.
You
Yeah.
gotta hit.
See, we are the better team. I mean, we just are.
You gotta hit the puck though. Oh. Whoa. Oh. Is that Brady?
Oh boy.
Wonder what words he's saying.
We're not giving you Greenland. Oh man. All right, boys. We'll go through the intermission here.
Oh, punch right to the face.
Oh, see ya. Now, as we head into the intermission, I want to talk about three things. First thing I want to talk about is what we need to do in the second period to get momentum back. And then I want to talk about um, how we feel about the rest of the Olympic Games in general, like how like all the other sports included. And then lastly, Patrick, I'm gonna need you to tell me something about Denmark, like what they're known for. Maybe you can tell me that first because I don't know. Are they known for chocolate? Are they known for like what are they known for? Danishes? Like that's all I know.
Let's see. Um,
I know you're the world
Think it's the happiest place on earth, or is that
well, you could say anything in the Scandinavian, Baltic nations pretty much are like the happiest, like top
well, there we go. There.
nations.
all right.
Let's see.
It's okay if you didn't know. I just figured, being a
Class traveler.
world traveler, you're smart, you listen, you read stuff about the world. I know you've been to Norway. You've been to Norway, right?
I have been to Norway, did a cruise. That was 2 years ago. Certainly, I wouldn't say it's exactly identical, but for the most part, Denmark and Norway, I know, very much embrace, a lot of like the wilderness, in terms of national parks. They do a lot of biking trails where tourists and natives of the area can enjoy, transportation of that sort. Um, I know in terms of food wise, very much in terms of the seafood. I believe actually Denmark might have one of the oldest amusement parks, if I can recall correctly.
Oh,
All right.
Um,
so functioning, allowing people in, or
well, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
All right. Yeah, cool. Hey, the more you know. All right. So, speaking of Denmark, they've controlled play now that we know. Maybe speaking of amusements, they've been quite amused with the way that they've been playing, probably. Going into the locker room, pretty excited. 2-1 lead. It's kind of a must win for them, I'd say. Um, in order to build momentum and hopefully, make it into the medal round. For the US though, I mean, if you're Mike Sullivan, what are you saying in the dressing room right now?
Yeah, I mean, you gotta tell them to sharpen up defensively. I mean, look at the costly turnovers we've had in our own zone that led to at least one of the goals. The goals who start the game here, so I think they've got to defensively sharpen up and then offensively just keep firing the puck away. But they got to get some rebounds, maybe some screens in front of Denmark's goaltending. I think that's what they've got to do. They can't just keep dumping in. I think they've got to come up with another strategy since Denmark seems to have figured them out in that aspect of it.
Yeah, I agree. They've kind of played the first period in a little bit of a dump and change mentality, or dump and chase mentality, and that doesn't seem to be, um, yeah. And they're showing this goal over and over again, and that wasn't a issue of the United States dumping and changing. They or dumping and chasing. They just looked a little bit out of place, and then Swayman misread the puck. Um, so I mean, if you guys want to mute your TV or keep it fine, that's good too. The the thing that I'm worried about is, and Patrick, let me know what you think. Um, I'm worried about the mentality of us after a period. It's like they looked tired. They're facing the pressure. They got to change their game plan. uh, I don't know if that goal that they gave up to Swayman, or that Swayman gave up, was a little soft. Maybe there's some questions about that. Like, how do you think they should handle the mental side of the game heading into the second period?
Well, I think again, currently as you saw, USA's had opportunity to take shots on net. They just necessarily have not, contributed to getting the effect that they want in terms of goal scoring. So I feel like in terms of the coach mentality, it's you know certainly as a collective whole, you're asking the guys, you need to like come out hard, even harder in the start of the second period. Like there cannot be, this slow, issue of making plays, doing, clearing the ice, making passes. You got to come out strong because certainly like this game is trying more like to as if you're facing one of the top notch teams of Finland, Sweden, Canada. Like you're basically scrambling to try to keep up with the pace of Denmark's doing, where they not necessarily have been dictating the entire game, but they're doing everything right in terms of actually controlling it into the zone of the U.S. They're not, holding the puck very long. Like they need to come out hard. I think for the U.S., you have to expect, because looking just at the stats right now for the first period, a lot of guys who you expect to like make some sort of contribution, like Boldy's been contributing, Hughes been contributing, but Matthews, performance in the ice thus far, I necessarily haven't seen much talk about him in terms of his play, but he hasn't done anything yet in terms of
Yeah,
shots and such. And I would like to see him do something a little bit.
The ghost of the game of hockey.
yeah, yeah. We need more out of Eichel. We need more out of certainly Matthews. We need more out of the Kachucks offensively. Like, and honestly, like they're showing these goals. I honestly, both goals are on Swayman, and you won't find a bigger Swayman defender than me. I think he's been, for some reason, vilified around the league, probably just because he plays for the Bruins, and there's a lot of anti-Bruins bias in the NHL. But like both of those goals are on him. So I mean he's got to play better. The defense in front of him has to play better. Patrick, to your point, you need more out of your superstars. You can't expect I mean Slavin and Hughes were our defense player or defensemen, and they are defensive players, and they are the ones that assisted on Boldy's goal. Like you
No,
need, I mean, Larkin took a bad penalty. You need him to step up. You need Gensel. You need your goal scorers to step up. And they played really good hockey um against Latvia the other day. And so I know they have it in them. They just need to build it up. Kyle, what do you think about the lines? Did you make any changes on the lines?
I think you could
Or you
lean
don't want
more
to overreact?
I think it's a little bit of overreact. I mean, it's still only the first period. It's not like it's the third. Um, I think it's more of an effort thing in the first period there for them. I think they do need to get a fire underneath their ass. My question is though for you is if your team USA in your situation like this, you're going to the third period, for example, who would you rely on to step up in a big situation for this team? Because majority of this team has never played in a big game like this, on the Olympic guys especially, or in the world standing of it. Yes, a couple guys have played in the Stanley Cup, but who would you rely on? Who would you want to be? Hey, the puck
Yeah.
should be in your stick.
I mean, Kyle, you and I 3 weeks ago, we saw Eichel live. Um, and we saw him park in front of the net at TD Garden and kind of sit there the whole third period. Um, that's the guy I'd point to. He's the guy we just talked about a few minutes ago, who we thought could be a captain going forward. He's the best center they have. I think he's better than Austin Matthews all around. Austin Matthews is the better scorer. So maybe you pull out a hero line and you put a Brady, Kachuk, a Matthews, and then a Eichel, with a McAvoy and Hughes, and you just say, go 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 dominate for 3 minutes and get us a couple goals. I might do that in the second period, but going to the third period, hopefully they find their legs and it's just like Latvia and they end up, winning, 6-2 or something. Because even Latvia, they were up 4-1 heading into the third. So if they're up a couple goals, it's keep putting the pedal to the metal. And then maybe this whole conversation is moot. But I mean, if you ask me to identify one guy, it's Jack Eichel. Patrick, who do you think if you had to pick a guy to excel here in the second part and third period for USA, who would it be?
I'm saying I'm pretty much behind you. I would certainly would love to see Eichel, continue to, to step up because certainly he's already taken 2 shots on net, in during this game. But certainly, like if I always have viewed Eichel while he is in one way a leader in some eyes. I certainly feel he's always been kind of like that supporter role where he makes plays happen. And I feel like so far in this game, he's already kind of showing that in terms of that mentality. Um, but I also be kind of very curious to see, with how Boldy and Hughes been going thus far. Um, will they just continue to step up? Will that mentality be it's like we put the attention towards individuals who've not necessarily have had the eyes of other teams or other countries? Because certainly going to this game, that you would automatically think Matthews would be the one, Kachuk to really be staying forth in front of the net. But as you said earlier, Will, defensive players are not necessarily the go-to people that you expect to make the shots, to make the plays. And this could be maybe the opportunity that maybe that mentality needs to be the turning point while still being high octane in terms of trying to control the play.
I agree. I agree. And it looks like are they interviewing Boldy or Sanderson right now? I can't tell.
Goalie.
Okay, so they're interviewing Boldy right now. Um, yeah, there he is. A New Englander, just like us. I would lean on those guys that we talked about. And Pat, you're right. Like if it ends up being Matt Boldy, who was one of our best players at the Four Nations, and so far been one of our best players at the Olympics, lean on him. But it should be your stars in the second and third period that come out. And if you look at the stats, they're 15-7 in faceoffs. They're 13-7 in shots on goal. But because of my boy Jeremy, I would say they're down 2-1. Now it's if they keep and that was a bad period for the United States. They looked sloppy and they still outshot them 15-7, or sorry, 13-7, and still won 15 out of 22 faceoffs. So if that's a bad period, I'd be interested to see what a good period looks like.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, I'm just if you can't play like that though against like a Sweden or a Finland or a Team Canada. You can't have a period like that.
No.
yeah,
It's
well, this is why you have your bad. This is why you have your bad period against Denmark in the second game, rather than against Sweden or Finland or Canada or even the Czech Republic or whoever you end up playing if you advance. Those teams are going to make you pay a little bit more than 2-1, right? They have a
yeah,
little bit more firepower than, Ehlers and I don't even know who else they have. A Bjorkstrand. I mean, they have a
yeah.
couple solid players, but they don't have they don't have the firepower that the other teams have. So if your bad period is one bad period against Denmark, and if they win this game 6-2, we'll look back at this stream and we'll laugh. But if they lose this game, 4-2 or something, then we'll look back and say, ooh, maybe the pressure got to him a little bit. We'll just have
Yeah.
to wait and see. Now, guys, before they come back at the end of the intermission here and we drop the puck and close up the stream, do you guys have you guys noticed any other Olympic performances outside of hockey, maybe that you want to point out that you've enjoyed so far?
Yeah, shout out to Vermont having 3 medalists this year, I believe for cross country skiing, which is awesome to see. A state that's very much forgotten in the race and the competition. We don't really thrive at in general with cross country skiing. So for us to be able to score or at least medal in those events, I'm very proud.
Yeah, I forget her name, the cross country skier. She looked like she had passed out at the end. She was so
Yep.
tired with her rib injury. Um, yeah, great. Patrick, do you have one?
Yeah, I've certainly been, very much in the early scheduling of the Olympics. I was very much, keeping track of like, the mixed curling that was happening, and the fact that, USA won silver, after beating, the defending gold champs, in the semifinal, which was Italy. But then, finishing obviously, losing to Sweden was tough, but the fact that, USA is making a very strong name for themselves in curling, because curling has not necessarily been the most prolific sport in terms of U.S. history, but the fact that this Olympics thus far has shown a great strength for both mixed, women's, men's. I would certainly say curling has been a huge highlight for USA, to a little bit surprising many people.
Yeah, I agree. I thought they had a really good showing, um, in curling, despite their tough loss to Sweden, that they had in one of the matches. For me, it's actually outside of USA. Scotty James in snowboard halfpipe.
Mm.
Uh, it's a guy who won bronze in 18 and silver in 2022, and he had the run of his life last night in men's halfpipe, snowboarding. He couldn't overtake the Japanese riders. The Japanese riders they are a dominating force, and you see how Shaun White has raised the generation of halfpipe snowboarders. But I thought the USA had a decent showing. They didn't get on the podium, but Scotty James from Australia at his older age still getting a silver medal, um, going against all these young Japanese guys who are much younger than him. Uh, I thought was a good look. And then also Breezy Johnson in skiing, the American, had a great win earlier
Well,
in the week, last week, I believe, in the downhill. Um,
yep.
so some good performances. Haven't got the amount of golds that I thought we would as a country, but we've been stacking up some silvers and bronzes, and it's been fun. Now, how do you guys feel about the Winter Olympics so far? Like the presentation of it, the scheduling, the accessibility of watching. Like, you, how do you guys feel about that?
I certainly feel like, leading up to this Olympics, certainly we knew about how, Italy was putting, very close to the deadline in terms of the hockey facility and getting that all
Yeah.
ready. But I think in terms of like the conditions of, the ski slopes, in terms of, that certainly has been, very well. I don't think there was ever really a concern needed to make snow in advance, just based on
Mhm.
the weather over in Italy. I really feel like, compared to the last, two Winter Olympics, which was, Beijing and then Pyongyang, I think this Olympics was, I think, a little more prepared in terms of the facility standpoint compared to the last two Olympics, and also in terms of the weather and such.
I agree. I agree. They so far it's been a really good viewing experience, a lot better than Beijing. We had kind of some ugly backgrounds and stuff at some of the hills.
Yeah.
They've done a good job with the viewing experience, and they're showing the announcers here, uh, Eddie Olczyk and I forget the other guy's name, Kenny Albert, I believe. Um,
Yeah.
they've this hockey arena, I can't tell. It was built 2 weeks ago. It looks pretty good. Hey, before we wrap up the stream, they're about to drop the puck on the second period. I appreciate everybody tuning in. But before, we didn't talk a lot of NHL, but that's all right. We talked a lot of Olympics, and we only get that every 4 years. So before, as they're dropping the puck right now, guys, who's scoring next for the United States? We'll all get a name, and then we'll wrap up the stream.
Ooh.
I'm gonna say Quinn. I think
You're going Quinn.
I'm gonna go Quinn.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
Patrick says Quinn Hughes. All right, what do
I'm
you think?
gonna go with Dylan Larkin.
Okay, nice. He had a couple big goals at the Four Nations. I'll go Boldy. I'll go Boldy. I
Okay.
think he doubles up. Hey, so hopefully there is another goal. If there's not, then we're in trouble. But guys, thanks for tuning in on the stream. Thank Patrick and Kyle, thanks for joining me. We'll be back, Kyle, probably to talk maybe next week. See some. Maybe we won't do a live stream. Maybe we'll do a recap of some games. But I appreciate everybody tuning in. Diezel, Pat, enjoy the rest of the game, guys, and hopefully we get it done.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
That's thanks for having us.
All right, you're welcome.